And the invocation with me, please. Pledge allegiance to the flag. Lord, Heavenly Father, thank you for another beautiful day in our beautiful city that is Lake City. And give us the wisdom to guide this organization to best serve the people present and in the future of Lake City. Cast a net of safety, opportunity, and vision over our community, and help us to serve those who need us most. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Amen. Welcome to the City Council regular session of February 17th, 2026. Ms. Sykes, will you please call the roll?
Councilmember Jernigan?
Present.
Councilmember Harris?
Present.
Vice Mayor Young?
Here.
Councilmember Carter?
Present.
Mayor Walker?
Here.
City Manager Rosenthal?
Here.
City Attorney Martin?
Here.
Chief Butler?
Ladies and gentlemen, the Lake City Council has opened its public meeting. Since 1968, the City Code has prohibited any person from making personal, impertinent, or slanderous remarks or becoming boisterous while addressing the City Council. Yelling or making audible comments from the audience constitutes boisterous conduct. Such conduct will not be tolerated. There is only one approved manner of addressing the City Council, and that is to be recognized and then to speak from the podium. Failure to abide by the rules of decorum will result in removal from the meeting. Now we will move on to approval of the agenda.
So approved, Mayor. Second.
Thank you both. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Oh, wait, hold on. We have a discussion.
The approval of the agenda. I'm not quite sure if this is when I need to speak or do I need to speak at the end. But there were two things that I directed you, John, to put on the agenda, and I'm wondering why they're not on there.
I think that was the
Housing
City Hall
Authority and the City Hall. and it's not on
Housing
the agenda.
Authority. But I would think that you want to speak to that more towards the end when it comes your time to talk.
All right.
All right. Any more discussion, questions? All in favor of this agenda signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed, like sign? Okay. We will move on to our first item, which is our proclamation. We have a proclamation for Judge Leandra Johnson, and it reads as follows. In recognition of the retirement of Leandra Johnson, Circuit Court Judge, 3rd Judicial Circuit. Whereas the Honorable Leandra G. Johnson has served the citizens of Lake City, Columbia County, and Florida's 3rd Judicial Circuit with distinction for more than 40 years through a career devoted to justice, public service, and community leadership. And whereas Judge Johnson was appointed in 2006 by Governor Jeb Bush as a Circuit Court Judge in Florida's 3rd Judicial Circuit, making history as the first woman to serve as a circuit judge in the circuit, which encompasses Columbia, Dixie, Hamilton, Lafayette, Madison, Suwannee, and Taylor counties. And whereas prior to her appointment to the bench, Judge Johnson served for 15 years as an assistant state attorney in the 3rd Judicial Circuit, practiced law in private practice, and served as an attorney for the Columbia County School Board, demonstrating a lifelong commitment to fairness, integrity, and the rule of law. And whereas in recognition of her leadership, professionalism, and dedication to judicial excellence, Judge Johnson was unanimously elected by her peers to serve as Chief Judge of the 3rd Judicial Circuit in 2011. And whereas Judge Johnson is a graduate of the University of Florida,
Go Gators.
earning both her undergraduate degree and Juris Doctor, and has consistently exemplified the highest standard of the legal profession throughout her career. And whereas beyond her judicial service, Judge Johnson has remained deeply engaged in the Lake City community, serving on numerous charitable boards as past president of Altrusa Club and as a long-standing member of the Leadership Council of Take Stock in Children, positively impacting generations of local families and youth. And whereas Judge Johnson's trailblazing career and unwavering commitment to justice serve as an inspiration to women, aspiring legal professionals, and public servants throughout the city of Lake City and beyond. Now, therefore, I, Noah Walker, Mayor of the City of Lake City, Florida, do hereby wish to recognize the Honorable Leandra G. Johnson for her historic achievements, distinguished judicial service, and enduring contributions to the community and extend our sincerest appreciation and gratitude on behalf of the citizens of Lake City. Thank you very much. Come up to the front. If the council will come down and take a photo of Ms. Johnson. Congratulations. On your retirement. We also provided Judge Johnson with a key to the city. Go left or right, so I agree. Okay, good, wait. Just a smidge. This Bill, would you come over?
I will.
Y'all work hand in hand with each other, so. Gonna get it to you guys, that'd be all right?
I love it.
Yes, ma'am?
You was hiding behind.
Mr. Mayor and City Council, thank you so much. This is a distinct honor that I appreciate very humbly. I've only been a public servant, and that's what I've done throughout my career, to serve the public and follow the law. And so this recognition really is very humbling to me. So thank you very much. I appreciate this recognition.
Thank you again for all of your service, Judge Johnson. All right. Now we will move on to our presentations for this evening. And we have one presentation from the 250th project presentation. So Ms. Terry, would you lead us on this?
Before I have Ms. Lee come up and introduce her students, I wanted to say a few words about our 250th celebration that we're going to be doing here in Lake City. We're excited to begin celebrating the nation's 250th anniversary. The city, along with the county, have many events planned to honor the 250th. One being our kickoff celebration on Tuesday, February 24th at 11 a.m. in Lusty Park. We will have recognition of elected officials, presentation of colors, patriotic music, presentations from Richardson Middle School and Fort White Honors Choir, and a proclamation presentation. Number 2 is our large flags. We have a bunch of large flags that will be hung this weekend on City Hall, the courthouse annex, and the school board office. Another event that we have is our 4th of July event at the Columbia County Fairgrounds. It is scheduled Saturday, July 4th, starting at 5 p.m. Family activities, hot air balloons, vendors, food trucks, entertainment, and fireworks. The Columbia County School Board, the Art Gallery, and Columbia County Public Library are working closely with us to promote and provide activities to accompany our patriotic theme. They will share some of their projects monthly at our council meetings. And that's what we have tonight, is the Columbia County School Board with Ms. Lee to come and show some art that they have done in their classrooms.
Good evening, Board. We're very excited to work alongside the Board of County Commissioners. They have written this grant, and they asked before they included us in the grant, is there some things that we could do to make sure that all of our children in our schools understand the importance of the 250th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence. And of course, our standards, our state standards go right along with this in government and civics, and all the way down to kindergarten to understanding, the flag and why we say our Pledge of Allegiance. So with that, each month we have an assigned project. We kicked it off with our Celebrate Literacy Week in the state of Florida. Statewide, it was 250th Read White and Blue, and so we kicked off with that in the last week of January and rolled right into February. And we're working with a local quilt guild, and each school is designing a quilt square that will be turned into a quilt and presented in April at the district. So the art teachers are working hard in their art classes to start and kick off the February project. This is Evelina Miller and Brooklyn Saperstein. Miss Miller is the art teacher at Westside, and they're just going to share their projects, and then they have some things to pass out to the audience and what they've been learning so far. So thank you.
With a single sheet of parchment paper and 56 signatures, America began the greatest political journey in human history.
On July 4th, 2026, the United States turns 250 years old, marking the anniversary of 1776 signing of the Declaration of Independence. This historic milestone celebrates 250 years of independence.
America started with 13 original colonies and has grown to be 50 amazing, beautiful states.
Over 250 years, the country has changed a lot, including ending slavery in 1863, women gaining the right to vote in 1920, and landing on the moon in 1969.
America is turning 250 years old. Happy birthday, America. Our first art is American wind socks. This is something we can put up on the 4th of July to celebrate. We'll be passing those around now.
Thank you. Thank you. On the record, I love it.
Thank you.
Second is our aluminum soldiers. We'll be passing them around for you guys to look at.
Well done. Yeah.
Thank you very much for having us here. It was an honor to be here.
Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
And we'll be back each month for a small presentation, and we'll have secondary also come do some presentations throughout, all the way through May. Thank you for having us again.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right, that concludes the presentation portion of our meeting. So we will now move on to public participation and persons wishing to address the council. We only have one person signed up tonight, and that would be Mr. Osvaldo Valdo Lopez.
Thank you.
Hello, Council, Mayor. So tonight I'm addressing a situation that we have in our city. It has to do with the dogs. There's a lot of people who own dogs here, including myself. I lived here for 3 years, and I thought about a solution on how we can have people, walk their dogs and bring revenue in for the city as well, along with tourists. So it's called the Lake City Dog Park. That's my proposal. What I'm proposing is that we could come up with about 4 to 6 acres worth of land, and on that land, we're going to put 3 types of waterfalls for dogs, where they can go in there and hang out and bathe, or just play, whatever. It's artificial waterfalls in a shallow pool. It's amusement for the dogs to play and bathe, and it's family orientated. It's also a tourist attraction. It will bring in revenue from out of state because we don't have anything here. We don't have a beach, so why not have a dog park that can, something original that we can have here in our own special city. So why 4 to 6 acres for the privacy and also to handle the growth of the new members that are coming in. There'll be a membership fee, and the membership fee will be $30 annually, which is a one-time fee. It includes a fenced-in compound. It'll operate during daylight hours from 8 to 6:30 p.m. Monday through Friday, Saturday 9 to 5 p.m., Sunday possibly closed, or Sunday 9 to 5 p.m. The attractions include, again, the 3 type of waterfalls. I'm not talking about like huge waterfalls. I'm talking really something shallow that people can just sit there and relax and hear the sound of water flowing. Another thing also that it has is obstacle courses for dogs. Another thing, plenty of trees and bushes and benches to sit on for the public to come out there, the members to come out there and sit. Again, we need about 4 to 6 acres because I really feel that this is going to take off. And water spigots for the dogs. We bring in our own bowls and we can fill them up whatever and have a way for them to drink. Finally, I have 10 points to make and I'm done here. And
If you'd just bring it in for a landing. Thank
Sir?
you. It's just the timer went off, but.
Okay. Yes, sir. So 10 real quick points. The dogs must be on a leash when entering or exiting. No fighting will be tolerated amongst the dogs. Must be friendly dogs. I believe in like a 4 policy strike per visit per year. In other words, if your dog keeps fighting, and cause problems 4 times a year, then you're out. And there's a number to call. There's a number to call for the city in case there's any complaints. And it's a one-time fee per year. All owners are welcomed that includes out of the county and out of the state as well.
Mr. Lopez?
Yes, sir.
I just want to break it. I know that we are working on a dog park currently, with Mr. Johnson being the quarterback of that project. I think that it would probably be a good collaboration if you wanted to set up a meeting with him.
Yes, sir.
And move that forward. Does that sound good?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Mr. Johnson.
Thank you,
Yes,
Mr.
sir.
Lopez.
Thank
If you have your contact information, just because I know he's working on that, he'll get that from you. Okay.
Yes, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Lopez.
Thank you very much.
Thank
for
you
your
very
time.
much.
Thank you.
I got a question.
Yes, sir.
If I may.
Mr.
Mr.
Kerrigan.
Lopez.
Yes, sir.
I think that was you out there. I was
Yes,
playing with my dog or whatever.
Yes, sir. It was.
Shepherd, I had mine or whatever. And you explained to me that you were a disabled veteran. Am I correct?
Correct.
So would the veterans be allowed to come out and participate in this dog park?
It's a membership for everybody. $30 a year. It's going to bring in revenue from our county, and and it's going to get word out of state because we don't have anything here. We don't, there's no such thing as a huge dog park anywhere in this state. And we want to be original. So this is also bringing in tourism, along with,
Yeah, and the reason why I was,
Yes,
where
sir.
I was going with that, we have a tourist development with the county. Maybe the next meeting, I think it's March the 5th at 9:00 a.m. If you're not doing anything that morning, maybe you want to come out and suggest that, because they have so much acreage that we're working on now, and that would be something that that would gain interest
Yes, sir.
from the staff members as well as the members of the TDC.
So who do I get with? Mr. Johnson here?
Yeah, I think Mr. Johnson can
Okay.
get you in the right direction.
Yes, sir.
For sure. But I want to make sure we don't just leave this out there hanging. I want to see
course.
it progress.
Okay.
Okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Lopez.
Thank you.
I'd like to say, Mr. Lopez, I really thank you for coming up here to share that. Under my direction, I did ask Mr. D to give us 2 dog parks. So I don't want them to think you were set up. Thank you for coming.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Moving on from public participation, I don't have anybody signed up, anybody else signed up, so we'll move into the approval of the consent agenda.
Mr. Mayor, move to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion, comments? Hearing none, Ms. Sykes, will you please call the roll?
Mr. Carter?
Yay.
Ms. Harris?
Yes.
Ms. Young?
Yes.
Mr. Jernigan?
Yes.
Mayor Walker?
Yes. All right. We're moving on to new business. We're in ordinances, item number 4, a city council ordinance number 2026-2346. Mr. Martin, will you please read that by title?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, council members. You have before you ordinance 2026-2346, an ordinance of the City of Lake City, Florida, amending the text of the City of Lake City Land Development Regulations as amended pursuant to an application LDR 2502 by the Growth Management Department of the City of Lake City, Florida, providing for amending Section 2.1 entitled Definitions General by adding a definition for administrative approval process and development review staff, providing for amending Article 3 entitled Administrative Mechanisms by adding Section 3.3 entitled Administrative Approval, providing for amending Section 13.11 entitled Site and Development Plan Approval by adding Section 13.11.5 entitled Minor Site and Development Plan Approval, providing severability, repealing all ordinances in conflict, and providing an effective date.
Thank you, Mr. Martin. We don't have anybody signed up to speak to item number 4, so we'll move straight into Dais comments, questions.
Mr. Mayor, move to approve City Council Ordinance 2026-2346.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Thank you both. Any further comments or questions? Hearing none, Ms. Sykes, will you please call the roll?
Mr. Carter?
Yay.
Ms. Harris?
Yes.
Ms. Young? Mr. Jernigan?
Yes.
Mayor Walker?
Yes. All right, now we're moving on to new business, item number 5, City Council Ordinance number 2026-2355. Mr. Martin, will you please read this by title?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, council members. You have before you on first reading ordinance 2026-2355, an ordinance of the City of Lake City, Florida, changing the name of that certain public road in the City of Lake City presently identified as North Terrace, situated between Northwest Wilson Street and Northwest Long Street, changing and designating the name of said segment of Northwest Ivory Terrace henceforth to Northwest Betty Lane Terrace within the City of Lake City, Florida, providing for conflicts, providing for severability, and providing an effective date.
Thank you, Mr. Martin. We don't have anybody from the public signed up to speak to this item either, so we will move straight into Dais comments, questions.
Yes. So we're saying that we're going to change Betty Lane to Betty Lane Terrace. Is that what we're going to do?
Yes, from
Okay.
Ivory Street, Northwest Ivory Terrace to Betty Lane Terrace.
It's, I see Mickey out here. Do you have any thing you want to say about that? I think the last time we tried to change the name and the person did not agree with it. So me personally, I like to see if you have any questions about this and move forward with it.
Thank you for allowing me to speak, and thank you all for everything you've done to help facilitate this. I actually spoke with the person who had an issue with it previously, and he has no issue with it currently. As a matter of fact, he supports it, and I think he confirmed that with Councilwoman Harris.
I like the idea. I'm Ms. Lean, she was an educator, and she was a disciplinary person too, you know, Ms. Lean.
A disciplinary mother, too.
You know, so I really appreciate that. I just wanted to make sure that you guys were aware of what was going on, and we didn't have any feedback from it. So I really appreciate that.
I very much appreciate it, and I think Councilwoman Harris can confirm that it's no longer an issue and it's fully supported by that individual. And I would like to thank you all on behalf of your continued support of my mom, including posthumously. That is very much appreciated, both by my family and church members and community folks. So thank you all very much for helping us continue her legacy, not just in the family, but in the community. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you for your comments. Any other questions or comments of the dais? Would anybody like to make a motion to adopt City Council Ordinance number 2026-2356? Or, sorry, 2355, not 2356.
Mayor, I move that we approve ordinance number 2026-2355.
A second.
Thank you both. We have a motion and a second. Any further comments or questions? Ms. Sykes, will you please call the roll?
Ms. Harris?
Yes.
Ms. Young?
Yes.
Mr. Jernigan?
Yes.
Mr. Carter?
Yay.
Mayor Walker?
Yes. All right. Now we're moving on to item number 6. This is City Council Ordinance number 2026-2356. Mr. Martin, will you please read this by title?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Council members, you have before you ordinance number 2026-2356, an ordinance of the City of Lake City, Florida, changing the name of that certain public road in the City of Lake City presently identified as Northwest Campbell Terrace, situated between Northwest Wilson Street and Northwest Long Street, changing and designating the name of said segment of Northwest Campbell Terrace henceforth to Northwest Foreman Terrace within the City of Lake City, Florida, providing for conflicts, providing for severability, and providing an effective date.
Thank you, Mr. Martin. We don't have anybody signed up from the public on this one either, so do we have any? We'll move straight into the dais comments questions. Do we have any?
Mr. Mayor, move to approve.
I have a question.
Making a motion.
Mr. Carter's making a motion. We'll get a second, and then we'll come to the questions, since he's already started.
Move to approve ordinance 2026-2356.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Now, Mr. Jernigan.
Yeah, I wanted to say something before we made that motion, because you said, you have any questions, comments? And I wanted to ask a question at that time. Instead, Carter made a motion. So we got to get the question first and then the motion. Unless I don't understand exactly what you're saying. But I wanted to know if somebody was in here on the behalf of Mr. Foreman.
Yes, I am Sabra.
Okay, well, come on up here, Ms. Sabra. I just wanted to make sure.
Yes, sir.
I think I know your whole family, and you look just like your mom coming up here.
Thank you. Thank you.
And that's the key, you know. We're not doing nothing that's going to come back and somebody's going to say, well, it was a slap in the face or anything such as that. And that has happened to me. And I promise you, I didn't. I agree with it, but the person was very inspiration and my whole family. And Mr. Foreman was the same way.
Yes, sir.
He was very, very smart educator here in Lake City. So I'm in agreement with it as well. And you don't have any problems, any issues, anything like that?
No, sir. I just have a few words if you guys don't.
Please.
Thank you. So to Mayor Walker, the members of the City Council, Mr. City Manager and all of the assistant managers, Mr. Attorney and Mrs. Sykes, this is an awesome thank you for honoring my dad and also my mom. I wanted to make sure that we just sealed it with Foreman because both of my parents, my mom and my dad, were both educators over 38 years in this community. So Councilwoman Harris, we give you a special thank you to our family and to our district. Thank you for making this happen. If my dad was still living, he would tell you that you turned out all right. And he would be so proud of you, and we really thank you for honoring him. My parents valued education and their teaching profession. They realized through all of their former students that they did a great job in the classroom and in and in their administrative jobs. We are so grateful and proud for this honor, and we thank all of you guys for this recognition from all of the Foreman family. We really appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I think Ms. Foreman, I went to, see her and she said she broke her knee or something.
Yeah, she hurt her knee.
Hurt her knee, and that's why she wasn't able to be here, but let her know it's done.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much.
I hope she recovers quickly.
I'm watching them.
Any other comments or questions from the dais?
I'll just say, Mr. Mayor, I've done business with Mr. and Mrs. Foreman, and I caught a couple of licks from that paddle, Mr. Foreman. And in spite of that, I really quite. No, it was wood with the holes in it. But no, he was great, funny fella. He wasn't paddling.
I had Mr. Foreman every year when I got in 10th grade, 10th, 11th, and 12th, every year. He was one of my teachers. I'm like, oh my gosh. So he definitely would say, you turned out okay, girl.
40% of the council's not bad. Right?
Right.
All right, Ms. Sykes, if there are no other comments or questions, Ms. Sykes, will you please call the roll?
Mr. Carter?
Yay.
Ms. Harris?
Yes.
Ms. Young?
Yes.
Mr. Jernigan?
Yes.
Mayor Walker?
Yes. All right. We will now move on to resolutions and begin with City Council Resolution number 2026-011. Mr. Martin, will you please read that by title?
Certainly, Mr. Mayor, council members, you have before you resolution number 2026-011, a resolution of the City of Lake City, Florida, adopting the evaluation and tabulation of responses to that certain request for proposal number 003-2026 for repairs to the City Hall facade, accepting the bid from Innovative Masonry Restoration, LLC, a Minnesota limited liability company, approving the agreement between the city and said vendor, making certain findings of fact in support thereof, recognizing the authority of the mayor to execute and bind the city to said agreement, directing the mayor to execute and bind the city to said agreement, repealing all prior resolutions in conflict, and providing an effective date.
Thank you, Mr. Martin. We don't have anybody signed up to speak to this item, so we'll move straight to the dais council comments.
Mr. Mayor, move to approve City Council Resolution 2026-011.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. I do have a comment on this. I'm excited to see this happen and for this net to come off the building. It's going to be a good thing in downtown Lake City. With that being said, does anybody else have any comments or questions? Ms. Sykes, will you please call the roll?
Mr. Carter?
Yay.
Ms. Harris?
Yes.
Ms. Young?
Yes.
Mr. Jernigan?
Yes.
Mayor Walker?
Yes. All right. Moving on to item number 8, City Council Resolution number 2026-019. Mr. Martin, will you please read this one by title?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Council members, before you have resolution number 2026-019, a resolution of the City of Lake City, Florida, approving that certain mutual general release between the city and Paul Dahl, making certain findings of fact in support of the city approving said agreement, recognizing the authority of the mayor to execute and bind the city to said agreement, directing the mayor to execute and bind the city to said agreement, repealing all prior resolutions in conflict, and providing an effective date.
Thank you, Mr. Martin. We don't have anybody signed up for public comment on this item, so we'll move straight to the council comments, questions.
Yes, I do, Mr. Mayor. Thank you for recognizing. So this is gonna end everything with Mr. Dial, am I correct? We won't have this conversation anymore. We won't have to talk to the attorneys, and so we got it all worked out. Is that what you're telling me? That's what I'm hearing, right?
This includes the general mutual general release.
Okay. So, okay, I just want to make sure I got a good understanding, because a lot of things I don't understand.
Mr. Martin, would you like to expand on that?
What I would point out is it sets a benchmark date of February 2nd, which was the date of the meeting where the offer was made to Mr. Dial. So this release, there's a mutual release of liability from the beginning of time up through February 2nd, 2026. So that's the scope of the agreement, and then, of course, it provides for the payment.
Thank you, Mr. Martin.
Mm-hmm.
Any other questions or comments?
Mr. Mayor, move to approve City Council Resolution 2026-019.
Second.
Motion and a second. Thank you both. Do we have any final comments, questions? Hearing none, Ms. Sykes, will you please call the roll?
Mr. Carter?
Yay.
Ms. Young?
Yes.
Mr. Jernigan?
Yes.
Ms. Harris?
Yes.
Mayor Walker?
Yes. All right, moving on to City Council item number 9, City Council Resolution number 2026-020, having to do with the contract on the benches around town. Mr. Martin, will you please read this by title?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, council members. You have before you resolution number 2026-020, a resolution of the City of Lake City, Florida, amending that certain agreement between the city and Metropolitan Systems, Inc., a Florida corporation, and Kiwanis Club of Lake City, Florida, Inc., a Florida not-for-profit corporation, for placement, maintenance of, and advertising on public benches within the city, making certain findings of fact in support of the city, amending said agreement, recognizing the authority of the mayor to execute and bind the city to said agreement, directing the mayor to execute and bind the city to said agreement, repealing all prior resolutions in conflict, and providing an effective date.
Thank you, Mr. Martin. We don't have anybody signed up for public comment on item number 9, so we'll move straight into council comments or questions.
Yes, I do have a question.
Yes, sir.
As I looked over this, and I know Mr. Carter is, are you the president out there, vice president, or you the mayor?
I am the president of the Kiwanis Club.
Yes, so I think that this would be a conflict for me to give this contract to the Kiwanis Club, knowing that we have a member, the president up here. And again, I don't know how you guys look at it, but I'm just talking about me. And Carter can come up with a very, very good line, scheme, however he wants to say it. But for me, I'm not going to agree with something like this, knowing that we have one of the members up here as a president, vice president, mayor, whatever.
Thank you, Mr. Jernigan. I would like to note that this contract is actually with a third party that's not Kiwanis directly, but Mr. Carter could simply recuse himself from this vote as well. Mr. Martin, Mr. Carter.
To be clear, first of all, I take umbrage with the term scheme. I don't appreciate that. This contract has been in existence for, I think, almost, if not over 20 years before I was a Kiwanian or a city councilman or an adult, as a matter of fact. To be clear, Kiwanis is a civic organization that raises money and helps feed and clothe children in our community. Many public servants also serve in various capacities on boards for civic organizations. I recommend it. It's delightful. So I don't appreciate the suggestion that there's some sort of scheme they plotted well before I was grown to make sure that one day I was also the president of the club and on the city council. My understanding when speaking about this is that the contract itself is between Metropolitan and the city, and Mr. Martin, of course, is going to expound on this. The Metropolitan chose to give funds to a civic organization in the community. In this case, it used to be the Junior Chamber. When that closed up, they partnered with the Kiwanis Club roughly 20 years ago or so. So technically, they could be giving that money to anyone they like. They picked the Kiwanis Club after the Junior Chamber folded. So when it comes to hiring or engaging in a contract with them specifically, if I understand correctly, I would need to recuse myself. This contract is ended, and we're supposed to be going out for RFP because that's the fair and equitable way to do it. And this is an extension allowing time for the RFP process to take place. But again, I really don't appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Carter. Hold on. Ms. Young was next to speak, and then we'll come to you.
Oh, he pretty much covered
Okay.
what I was going to ask. I didn't think it was no ill feelings. I don't think it is, but I appreciate he covered what my questions.
Thank you, Ms. Young. Mr. Jernigan.
Again, there's a lot of things you don't appreciate. When you talk about appreciation, I don't appreciate things too. However, it comes out. If it don't come out in the wash, it'll come out in the rinse. Remember, I told you that. See, again, you can be 20, or you can be 40. I gave you my opinion about something, and you get offended by, well, not offended, but you don't appreciate me giving my opinion. I don't know where you come from, but this is a free country. Everybody's got an opinion to say whatever they want to say and however they want to say it, as long as they say it with respect. And I don't think I disrespected you by no means. But again, if I rub you the wrong way, that's just the way it goes sometimes in this business. You know, I get rubbed the wrong way all the time. So it is what it is. And I really appreciate you expounding on the Kiwanis Club history. I think I'm about 30-something years older than you are, so I knew about the Kiwanis Club before you was born. You got me? So, and Kiwanis Club is a great organization. It's great. It's just like the Masonics. It's just like any other organization that we may have around here. So, matter of fact, I got invited to become a member at the Kiwanis Club as well. So I want you to just keep those things in mind when I talk about that, okay?
Thank you, Mr. Jernigan. Mr. Martin?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just wanted to confirm that this was brought to our attention, the issue that Mr. Jernigan is raising, not by Mr. Jernigan, but it was brought to our attention early on in this process and made known to us that Mr. Carter was president of the Kiwanis, a member of Kiwanis sits on their board. The city attorney's office reached out to the Florida Commission on Ethics, and through multiple conversations, they obtained the exact fact scenario that's in front of us tonight. They researched it on their end and came back and said that there is no conflict of interest, and as a result, Mr. Carter would be required to vote on this tonight. So.
Thank you, Mr. Martin. All right. Do we have any other comments or questions, Mr. Jernigan?
So as you can see, it wasn't just me. Somebody else had said something to it about it as well. But you know, I call it like I see it. You know, so again, I will not vote in favor of this simply because of you being affiliated with the Kiwanis Club. That's just me. Hey, I'm just one vote. Just think about that.
Thank you, Mr. Jernigan. Just for my clarification, Mr. Rosenthal, as I was reading through this is a 6-month extension for us to put out an RFP, correct?
Yes, it is. We're gonna go through the RFP process.
Yes. All right. Thank you. Any further questions or comments? Hearing none, Ms. Sykes, will you please call the roll?
We don't have a motion or a second.
Sorry.
Mr. Mayor, move
Yeah,
to
sorry
approve
about
City
that.
Council Resolution 2026-020.
Now we have a motion. Do we have a second?
I second.
We have a motion and a second. Any final discussion, questions? Hearing none, Ms. Sykes, will you please call the roll?
Mr. Carter?
Yay.
Ms. Harris?
Yes.
Ms. Young?
Yes.
Mr. Jernigan?
No.
Mayor Walker?
Yes. All right. Moving on to item number 10, City Council Resolution number 2026-024. This is a resolution to appoint Ms. Kendra Jones to seat 3F on the city's Planning and Zoning Board. We don't have anybody. I'm going to let you read this by title too, Mr. Martin, please.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Council members, you have before you resolution number 2026-024, a resolution of the City of Lake City, Florida, appointing Kendra Jones to serve in seat 3F on the city's Planning and Zoning Board, Board of Adjustment, and Historic Preservation Agency Board through October 31st, 2028, the end of the current term for said seat, making certain findings of fact in support thereof, recognizing the expiration of said term on October 31st, 2028, directing the city clerk to reflect said appointment and expiration of term in such records of the city as are necessary and prudent, making certain findings of fact in support of the city clerk reflecting such appointment and expiration of term in the records of the city, repealing all prior resolutions in conflict and providing an effective date.
Thank you, Mr. Martin. We don't have anybody signed up for public discussion on City Council Resolution number 2026-024, so we'll move straight to the comments, questions of the council. Mr. Jernigan?
Yes, I have a question. Is Kendra Jones, is she in the audience anywhere? Mr. Mayor, and that's the problem that I have with people getting a position. I need to see the person. I want to meet him. Yeah, I saw the resume, and she's, and I think I know who she is. But to come up here and just say, "Hey, I accept this, and I'll fulfill the duties of a board member," just anything to let the people that's listening and looking at this know who that person is that's going to be assigned to planning and zoning. And which I don't have a problem with her being on planning and zoning, so I don't want nobody to get it twisted. So again, when we have these openings, if we can get the person here that wants to represent our organization, please, if we could, let's get them here, okay?
Thank you, Mr. Jernigan. Mr. Carter.
I would just like to say I agree with Mr. Jernigan. I asked last week, I asked staff to ask Ms. Jones to come this meeting so we could chat with her a little bit, kind of get to know her. So I think we should probably table this, give her another opportunity at the next meeting to come. But otherwise, I don't think it's a good idea to approve anybody who we haven't had the chance, because there's basically no official requirements, but it would be nice to at least be able to ask her a couple questions and just know that she kind of has an idea what she's getting into with the whole thing. It can be quite a lot. So I agree, and it would be my suggestion that we table it if no one else has anything to add.
Ms. Young.
I spoke with Ms. Jones initially, and she did express an interest in doing so. But I do agree if no one has spoken with her to make sure that she's still interested in serving, and I was going to suggest that we pass it and someone speak to her to make sure that this is what she wants to do.
Thank you, Ms. Young.
Mr. Mayor, move to table City Council Resolution 2026-024 until the next meeting.
Second.
Motion to table in a second. Thank you both. Any further discussion? I know that department that she's coordinating with is rampant with the flu right now, so
Yes,
that might have been an
they're
issue.
both off.
But I think this is a good motion to table. All right. If there are no other comments or questions, Ms. Sykes, will you please call the roll?
Okay, it's a motion to table resolution 2026-024. So Mr. Carter,
Yay.
Mr. Jernigan,
Yes.
Ms. Young,
Yes.
Ms. Harris,
Yes.
and Mayor Walker.
Yes. All right. We're moving on to item number 11, which is City Council Resolution number 2026-027, task assignment with Jones Edmonds. Mr. Martin, will you please read this by title?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Council members, you have before you resolution number 2026-027, a resolution of the City of Lake City, Florida, authorizing task assignment number 16 pursuant to the continuing contract with Jones Edmonds and Associates, Inc. of Florida Corporation to provide professional engineering services, providing for a cost not to exceed $66,680, making certain findings of fact in support of the city approving said task assignment, recognizing the authority of the mayor to execute and bind the city of said task assignment, authorizing the city manager with consent of the city attorney to make minor changes to the scope of work of the task assignment, provided such changes do not increase the quoted price in the task assignment, repealing all prior resolutions in conflict and providing an effective date.
Thank you, Mr. Martin. We don't have anybody signed up to speak to item number 11, so we'll go straight to Deus comments, questions.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
move to approve Resolution 2026-027.
We have a motion
Second.
and a second. Thank you both. Any other comments or questions? Ms. Sykes, will you please call the roll?
Mr. Carter,
Yay.
Mr. Jernigan,
Yes.
Ms. Young,
Yes.
Ms. Harris,
Yes.
Mayor Walker.
Yes. All right. That concludes all of our resolutions, and now we will come on to the portion of our agenda that is other items, and item number 12, discussion and possible action funding for Love Fest by Council Member Tammy Harris. So I'll let you introduce this.
I had, on one of our trips to Tallahassee in my off time, I was wondering what people thought about Lake City. And I was appalled at what they thought about Lake City. And because so many things have been happening in Lake City as far as murders, deaths, and all of that stuff, I thought that we need to get collectively with the county and do something. I spoke with the Commissioner Parnell, and he thought it was a great idea. And while I was down there, I also spoke with Rocky Ford, Mr. Phillip, and I spoke to Mr. Cross. I asked them about what did they think about it, and they thought it was a great idea. I expressed to them it will look good for our city if it shows that the city of Lake City as well as the county work together in putting this on. They agreed. So with that being said, I told them, I said, well, you know, I'm gonna need some money, and they all agreed, of course you are. So Kevin is going, Commissioner Parnell will be going to speak with them, I believe, this Thursday night, if not this Thursday night, next Thursday night. But I did give them a number. And with that being said, I would love for my council and the mayor to agree to give some funding to this. We have several activities and things that we want to happen during this time. We want to be able to have bounce houses, the whole nine. I expressed to Audrey as well as the team of people that will be helping me get this off the ground. I want this to be the biggest that Lake City has ever seen. I don't want to be thrown together. There are certain things that I asked for as far as this fire department to do, the police department to do. There are several things that we're trying to get off the ground, and we want to have this on August the 1st. So I'm going to ask the city, is this where I ask for the money done?
You can, yeah.
Okay. So I did tell Mr. Cross a number. I'm not gonna tell y'all what number I told them, but I will say I want the city to at least give up $10,000 to $15,000 to help this go off. That will cover entertainment, that will cover the free food that we'll be doing, all the activities, and all of that.
Mr. Carter?
Thank you, Ms. Harris. I could be wrong, but I don't think it's the average citizen of Lake City's experience that the town is rife with murder and crime. And I think that's a drastic mischaracterization to begin with. Also, I believe that Terry, sorry. I know your name, I promise. I'm sorry. I believe that Miss Terry hosts and puts together and organizes, I think, over a dozen different events throughout the year that the city does fund in part or in full. And I think that those events that we already are a part of are in service of the idea of promoting community spirit and partnership. So I guess specifically what I would be curious about with this event is, because it's kind of, the description in our packet was to promote unity and togetherness. And those are all very good things, obviously. I do think the events that we already do that in a very sort of, I would say, somewhat politically neutral kind of way. So I wonder, like, is there something specific about, is there something, for instance, I think this is suggested for like the third week of August. Is this part of something bigger, or is it, what's the point of this outside of what we already do?
The point of us is none of us want to say that we stay in a when you look back at the history of Lake City, it is not favorable. And we can go back a good little bit of years from now. And the only thing I want to do is put something that says love. And I'm just going to be blunt and frank right now. I really don't care what Terry is putting on. This is something I, along with the county, want to do together.
If I may,
Hold on.
if I may, that begins, Mr. Mayor, that begins to sound like a rally.
But let her
And I
finish.
allowed you to speak. Allow me to speak. And when it's time to vote, you can vote yes or no. That's all, okay?
There's more to this
Hold on.
conversation,
Let
to be
Ms.
clear.
Let Ms. Harris finish, and then we can come back to you.
So, I would like to have it, whereas the city and the county works together in putting this event on. I have gotten good feedback from the county, from all 5 of the commissioners, and I expect to get good feedback from the council here, because I am part of the city. And I'm not going to argue about it. We can go ahead and vote if you like, but I don't want to sit up here and argue about it.
For parliamentary procedure, once a proposition is made, we'll open it up to public comment. Mr.
To be clear, sitting up here and arguing about things is sometimes exactly what we're supposed to do. I'm just not.
Wait, hold on.
I'm just not seeing. I think, in all fairness, one of the events that's already planned for this year, if it made you feel better, could be changed in its title and its theme to some degree. You know, our holiday market could be the Holiday Love and Unity Market or something like that. I'm just not seeing the purpose behind the city funding a whole other event when we already have a whole host of events that we fund. And I understand this is something very specific that you and Mr. Parnell would like to do. It feels more like almost like a political sort of a rally. And I would say to that you should raise funds yourself and host an event.
I'm gonna tell you, I detest you saying that, and reason being is, the reason I talked to Mr. Parnell, if you were listening, along with the other commissioners, I spoke with them as well. The only reason I talked to Mr. Parnell mostly is because he is my county commissioner. I am District 12, he is the county commissioner of 1. So with that being said, that is why it was with him in the beginning. But I did speak with all of them.
May I ask a question?
Go ahead.
Why August 1st?
Well, I wanted it to be around the time that our Great Dog Park was going to be put together. I wanted it to be around, hopefully, the splash pad that we're trying to get will be opening. I wanted it to be around if we get the new equipment for the park. That is why. I wanted to all come together as one. Park openings and everything all at one time.
Ms. Young?
Oh, I would just like to hear from the county themselves. Okay, I would like to hear from the county. I would say we can pass it and get more of a detail of what will take place and have the county come and give their insight and their saying that they will partnership. That's what I asked.
This is the early stages. I did not want to put the cart before the horse. No sense of me even making all of these great plans, and then I have not spoken with you guys, and you all turned me down. So that is one of the reasons why we have a small amount of stuff that I wanted to bring forward before we go into delving into everything that we want to happen.
Mr. Carter?
Let me, if I may, roll back a little bit of what may be a curmudgeonly energy. I'm not really trying to be that way about it, but this sort of feels like a disjointed way about doing it. I would think the best way to approach this, if we did want to do anything like this, would honestly be to set up a workshop with the county. If we want to partner with the county commission and the city council, I would say we set up a workshop, we all chat about it, and then go back to our respective boards and determine what we could or couldn't spend on it, if we were going to do something like that to begin with. But I do feel strongly, I'm not generally in favor of the city becoming like a party planning committee. I think we already host a lot of events. But if we were going to do it, I feel like us doing, a somewhat arbitrary amount and then seeing what they offer later, it feels a little bit, I don't know.
The moment you bring something for us to vote on that you would like to do in the city, you have that option to do that. I chose otherwise.
Mr. Jernigan?
Yes, I would like to get just a little bit more information from the county. I read in the packet here what exactly the Love Fest Ms. Harris is putting on. However, even though it looks, it may sound, I don't know, it may sound like it sounds really good to me, funding for Love Fest sounds really good. However, we have an event planner here, and there's no way possible we can discard her from anything that we're doing here in Lake City. We pay Ms. Phillips a lot of money to put these events on, and she is the best at doing it. And she's got a little bit of help now, so coordinate things with Ms. Phillips and the county commissioners or particulars or whoever. I just think that, and it'll take the load off of you as well. It'll take the load off of you guys. And I kind of agree with Mr. Carter. We have a lot of events here throughout the year, but those events are already in the budget. I would say they're already in the budget. With this one here, it seemed like we're going to have to get 10,000, 20,000, 15,000, whatever the case may be, from somewhere. So I would think that getting with Ms. Phillips and coordinating this event with something that she's already got pre-planned, I think it'll definitely, because she's got a budget, I would think, right? I would think that, and probably the county commissioners, they probably got a budget as well. So I would think that coordinated, with that, it'll kind of like save your constituents, some money, because, I don't know where we're gonna get that money from, the 10,000.
So, are you suggesting a sitting council member cannot come up with something outside of what Terry brings out to have in the city? Is that what you're suggesting?
No.
You just made a point that that's what we're paying her for, and that's all good.
Yes.
But when a sitting council person wants to do something in the city, I don't know why there is a big issue. When I got ready to do the warming coats where we gave coats away, Terry was not facilitating that. That was under my direction. So now that I'm working with the county, it has to go up under Terry.
Well, again,
Make me understand.
no, it's gonna be hard for you to understand this. I
It
totally.
is, because you're not making sense.
Well, that, obviously, when we're talking about, putting on an event, and we're talking about other people's money, not your money, not my money.
It was other people's money when I did the
Wait,
coat
let
drive.
him finish, Ms. Harris.
So all I'm saying is, I think that she should be involved with anything that we do, not just you. We do. I don't care if it's the county, state representative. I'm saying, I think that if it's happening here in Lake City, as much as, I would like to put it on an event too, but I know I would go to the city manager, say, city manager, I'd like to put this on. City manager's gonna say, direct me over there to, Ms. Phillips, and Ms. Phillips is gonna coordinate, what we need to do. So, hey, I'm trying to look out for you. So if you,
I don't need you to look out for me.
Let him
And
finish,
I
Ms.
well,
Harris.
I'm not in favor of this.
appreciate that.
Okay, I'm not in favor of this.
Thank you, Mr. Jernigan. Mr. Carter.
With this event or with the previous event, the coat drive. Now the coat drive, I don't think it costs the city any money specifically, but what staff?
Save money.
What staff is if Ms. Phillips is not a part of this? What staff is currently or would be a part of organizing this?
It's mostly the city clerk.
Okay, so that's the city clerk has a description very clearly defined in the charter, and organizing parties and events and things like that is not at all one of those things. So I think that's putting. I think they have a full plate in the clerk's office without having them co-opted to help organize an event. So again, if we have events and we currently do events, and Ms. Phillips is generally in the lead on that, I feel like that's certainly the direction we should be working. And no, I don't think it's a council person can't have an idea. I had an idea a while back. I just shared it with Don and Ms. Phillips. I said, I think some point we should do a book drive. They said, cool, noted. It's not something that I'm pushing or being aggressive about, and I suspect it'll probably end up being a theme of something eventually. But I'm not looking to try to put the city on the hook for a large amount of money, especially when we have, like I said, a full slate of general community events organized, some of which I think could be tailored to be more specific in theme. So, I mean, I just, this feels sort of inside out. It's starting from the wrong end of the thing.
I've got a question. Ms. Phillips, would you mind coming up? The reason I'm calling Ms. Phillips up is I would also have some concerns about this is an election year, and we supervise our own elections, and those are going to take place about the second. And this was one of the reasons I asked about when we were going to do it, or when the proposed time was. So that'll be about the second or third week in August, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it would, I would be very cautious using our clerk's office, because they're going to be wrapped up heavily in that, doing budget meetings, which tend to happen around the 1st of August. We tend to have 2 or 3 extras. So I was going to ask Ms. Phillips, do we have any events around that time?
No, not at, we have our 4th of July, and then,
Part of the 250?
yeah.
Any, when is the next event after that?
Oh, do we have the Jake Hill event? I'm not sure when that is this year.
It'll be second weekend of August.
Is that a city event or is that a Jake Hill event?
It's a It's in our budget. It's in the
It is in the
city's
budget.
To support it? Okay, and that's the second week of August? Lord.
Y'all funny.
Mr. Mayor, to be clear,
This is
in that
hilarious.
same vein, I also don't think that, I think Mr. Hill's event is great, and I would love to see him keep doing it, but I don't think that the city should be necessarily funding a former councilman's event either, especially, again, like you said, right before an election, et cetera.
Maybe it's something we could tie
It's something we
together.
probably need to look at as a whole, as far as how we fund and the path in which money gets spent. I mean, because part of it is that there's a level of equity that needs to be focused on when it comes to money from here feeling like a specific councilman's event, then it starts to feel like a rally. I'm not trying to be offensive when I say that. I just mean to say that this doesn't feel like a city event at the moment. It feels like a Ms. Harris and Mr. Parnell event. And I think that that isn't, I don't think that's your goal, but that is sort of how it feels right now.
Ms. Young, you had something?
Ms. Harris, do you mind getting with Ms. Terry?
I do
And
not.
planning out this event and
I do
then
not.
budget out your cost and all, itemize everything, and I think it may be received a little differently if you would do that.
To add to that too, by August and that far out, we'll be literally actively working on the next year's budget. Another way that this is definitely more palatable is when it's budgeted for and not amended in the middle of the year. This could easily be put together more holistically and then proposed to be an addendum to the 2026, 2027 budget.
Preaching.
And I'll be happy to help. In August, it is just so hot. And I know that, that's something that we need to consider as well, but I will help however I can.
My thought of it, like I said before, the reason why I wanted to do it, because I was hoping it was we'll have this to be a big event. We have Young's Park with new equipment in there. Hopefully we will have the splash pad down. Hopefully the dog parks will be up running. And it was just something I wanted us to get together and have. It wasn't gonna be, me and Kevin are just the ones that were talking about it. I cannot pull you guys to the side and talk to you about it. So that is why I wait till I get up here to discuss it. And that is why. These are the early stages of it.
I think it's a great sounding event. Just FYI, I have a couple questions. I think it's a great event, and I think that in conjunction with those things happening, it would be fantastic. Are those items budgeted? Could you speak? Could we have administration speak to splash pad and timeline and some of that happening?
Well, we had several things that we were working on. I don't think they were budgeted, but we were working on the splash pad, we were working on some other items. And I had assigned that to D, so I'm gonna let D upgrade us on it.
Are we in like a request for proposal in that process?
No, we actually in the designing phase to kind of see what number we will need.
Okay.
So we have an on-site visit coming up next week, and we should have some numbers to bring back to the council.
Okay. All right. Very interesting.
I have a question.
Yeah. Ms. Young, you had a question before I started asking questions, so we'll start with you, then we'll come to Mr. Jernigan, then to you, Mr. Carter.
Being very transparent, do you think it's possible that we're gonna have a splash pad
That's my
in the
question,
dog
too.
park in early August?
Well, the dog park is budgeted for. Far as ETA on equipment, I think last time we checked, it would be in time. Far as the splash pad, it depends on what we get and what system we use. That's going to depend upon the time that it takes to install it and get it running.
How much are we looking at for that splash pad?
It varies. Lowest cost I've seen around 300, but I mean, you can always go up.
Where are we gonna get the money? Where's the money coming from?
That would have to be with, in conjunction with Dawn.
Yeah, we were gonna bring it back to the council and have the council either approve it or not approve it. We don't have the money in our current budget.
How are we gonna approve it if we don't have the money? That's what I'm saying. We gotta be very transparent and say, is this gonna happen? And Miss Councilwoman Harris won't be in this space where she's believing this is gonna happen August 1st. We gotta be very transparent.
And let me say this, and I don't want to put you out there, but I asked for the splash pad to be put in the budget when it was time, when we did the new budget. That was asked. So it was not put in the budget, not because it wasn't directed to put it in the budget. So let's be clear on that. I'm just came up last week and said I want a splash pad. I think that was when I first got in office, that was one of the things that I wanted.
And I just wanted to confirm, Mayor, if I may, she did request that during the budget time, and it did not get put in there, but it was brought up during the budget meetings that we did last year.
I don't recall it. Mr. Jernigan, then you, Mr. Carter.
Okay, Mayor, I don't want to get too far off from this particular item.
Sure.
You know, we budget this, but let's talk about this item right here. I want Ms. Harris to know that I'm a great supporter of her, and you know, I don't need no help. I don't need this. I don't, and you maybe you don't. And again, I'm only one person up here trying to help you do the things that you want to do. However, the system, the way you're going about doing it, I think that by including Ms. Phillips, it's going to even make this even a bigger event. You know, and again, I wouldn't use the clerk and this person, I wouldn't do that. But Ms. Phillips is well aware on these type of events going here in Lake City. She's been doing it for over 30 years probably. So I'm just trying to, again, get you to understand and see that going through her, well, not going through her, but getting her advice, getting her help is going to be lovely for the city of Lake City. But you want to, I don't want you to be offended by that. You know, I'm just trying to open up everybody's eyes, not just mine, everybody else's.
Okay. If it's offending everybody or bothering everybody that I did not speak to Terry about this, okay, we'll make it happen, okay? I can talk to Terry, but like I said before, this is the early stages of it. I talked to the clerk because she is the one that wrote down everything and all of that and trying to make sure you all get the package that you all needed to get. If I don't need Audrey, I don't need her. Let's be clear on that, okay? So if you think it's gonna be a problem that she's helping me, we can get it done, I promise you.
Mr. Carter, you had something?
I had two things. First quick question. I meant to ask this before, but to Mr. Rosenthal or Mr. Johnson, when we, and maybe Mr. Brown knows about it too, I don't know, when we had to demo the previous splash pad that was in Alusty Park, I understood there was some sort of leaking or something like that underneath it. Was any of that existing splash pad salvageable? Because I actually thought that we were going to take it and move some of it. Was it not?
So the way that pad was built, the vault was up underneath it. It was off to the side, and there was concrete on top. So we tried everything we could do to go around the edges of it. Mm-hmm. But by the time you tore the first piece of concrete up, you were into it then.
Gotcha.
So, but it was an antiquated system, and like I said, one of the biggest things was safety because it did have a vault that you had to climb down in. Okay. And it became very problematic.
Okay. Thank you. So that was the first part. I was just curious about that, and I feel like. And this is part of what the very first thing I asked. I'm not trying to be combative, but the very first thing I asked was, what is the purpose of this? I feel like we got somewhere towards a purpose, which was kind of like a focus and maybe even like a grand opening, if you will, for park upgrades, splash pad. I know we've got dreams of a skate park at Young's Park at some point. So I could certainly see the city investing, as the city invests in that park and that space and gets those things going at whatever timeline it does. Then investing in an event like that as a grand opening, a reopening for what is probably our largest city park. But I feel like that we should get all that, because even now it seems to be like you were under the impression that perhaps the splash pad would be done by August. It doesn't sound like we're anywhere near that.
Even if we don't have
Let him finish.
My suggestion just is that maybe there is a place where this event happens and everyone is completely on board with it. And it sounds like, at least what I'm getting, is that your intention would be to make a community event, surround it, or focus it around the park with its upgrades and things like that. So maybe we make the focus getting some of those upgrades done, whether it be grants or what have you. First, I would like to see all of that happen as well, and then go from there. Like, you know, necessarily a cart before the horse sort of situation.
Miss Harris, and then you, Miss Young.
If I desire that the splash pad be up and running and all of that, but by chance, if it does not, I don't see why we still can't have something. Why it still can't be called Love Fest.
Miss Young.
I say, go ahead, Ms. Harris, with your planning. As you said, you're in the early stage. And it's a lot of planning. And you may find that come August, we're not even where we need to be. That's a lot of planning. And even with Ms. Terry being the expert that she is, it's a lot of planning. So I would suggest that go ahead and plan your event out. And as I said, you're gonna have to get your cost of this and all of that you wanna have. And then we'll have an idea. We may not even have to lean on the county. Like I say, we don't know if the county even gonna really do. You know, you gotta have them all in one place at one time. So I would say go ahead and plan your event, bring back to the council every so often. It may take more than 1 or 2 times, but keep us abreast of where you are in your planning. It takes a while, and I think if we're all a part of it as it goes along, it'll come together and it makes more sense to whomever it doesn't make sense to.
I'm gonna say this. Since I've been sitting behind here, you had something at the Darby Pavilion, right?
It was budgeted.
It was budgeted. Okay. I didn't know anything about it. Even if it was budgeted, I never heard anything about it. Didn't know what time it was going to be, all of that, until it got ready to happen. So you're going to hold my feet to the fire that it just seems like so. And like I said, I detest you all even saying this is around election. My term to be up for election is in 3 more years. And whoever wins this election, they just win it. My mind isn't even on that. I want to change the dynamics of how Lake City look to the outside world that pulls it up on Google and it says those things about us. That is what I want to do. It's not for no political reason or nothing like that. It is strictly to build us up. So when the high-paying jobs get ready to come here, they can see the word love in something we are doing. Versus, James, please don't look like that, because you piss me off every time you look like that. When you feel like somebody is
Point of
saying
order, Mr.
something.
Mayor?
Yeah.
Of course you would. Of course.
Yeah.
You never come up
Mr.
here
Mayor.
with an idea to do anything, but as soon as somebody come up here with saying they want to do something, then you have all of this negative talk about going against it or whatever. You come up with something, so I will have that opportunity to say yes or no.
Thank you, Ms. Harris.
But that is my reason for wanting to have this Love Fest, is so people can look at our city and say, oh, all right, I like what they're doing. They're trying to build the narrative, what people are saying, a different narrative from what people were saying about Lake City before. That's all I want to do. It's nothing political, none of that.
Mr.
Mayor.
Carter. Yep.
To be real clear, and I don't think anyone would argue with me here, I have never been anything but consistent. I don't have ideas like this because I don't believe that this is the role of government. It's nothing personal. Clearly, we have a difference in perspective on what we think we ought to be doing here. To be clear, I don't have those kind of ideas because I don't think that's the government's job to do those things.
Thank you.
So, just to be clear, I'm not being negative. I'm trying to be responsible with the taxpayers' money.
And nobody else
Wait,
is.
hold on. Let Mr. Carter finish.
No,
We all
quite
are.
frankly,
We
the-
all
Hold on. We're not
frankly-
interrupting each other. Mr.
Quite
Carter.
frankly, I think it's naive to think that you put the word love on the front of an event and all of a sudden everyone's going to Google us and think it's we're different than we are. And I also think if you research some of the websites, when you Google and look up the stats and things like that, if you really research it, you'll find that some of them are fraudulent and they're intended to cause issues in a community and intended to affect real estate values. We live in the community. Are you surrounded by crime and murder on a daily basis? Because I am not. I don't hear people telling me that we are. I think we have a police department that's doing an excellent job. And I don't think slapping the word love on the front of an event is going to suddenly alter our world perspective. I think that being responsible with our taxpayers' funds, I think that being sensible up here at the dais is what's going to alter our reputation. And I don't think it's something that can happen overnight. It takes time. But to be clear, I'm not trying to be negative. I'm trying to be responsible. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Carter. Ms. Young?
Yeah. Mr. Carter, I believe I heard Ms. Harris say that the name didn't have to be what that is. She didn't have a problem with that. And then the other thing is, when it comes to taxpayers' money, and you have different views in different districts. This district, I don't like to say this side, but District 10 and District 12 need a lot more attention. I'll even say love. I'll even say need a lot more love. There's nothing wrong with that.
I agree.
And that's probably where Ms. Harris, the word derived from. It's nothing wrong with it. But she did say it can be changed. She didn't have a problem with that. She just want the event to go on. And Ms. Harris, I'm by no way holding heat to your feet. I'm just trying to add to how we can get through this process and get from the beginning and through the training, the planning part of it to where it actually takes place. I'm not against it. I'm not against it. And I'm gonna be like you now. You want to know where the money going. Mm-hmm. Okay, and I think that's what's here. Once you get an itemized statement, I'm going to say, of your event, and we see what the cost is, and I say we as a whole, we see where it's going, like you would want, and I think it'll be a better view of what we really don't have that here now.
I heard the only reason I brought up the elections was because we'll be in an election cycle for 2 of our seats, and I was concerned about the mention of the clerk's office. Honestly, I think that it's probably going to be too much for you to do the summer project that's there right at election time as it is. I'm like Ms. Young. I think that it's a good idea. I do think that kids and families need to see love. I would love to have that around the revitalization of Young's Park. I think that's something that should happen right here in the middle of town, big time. Like Miss Young, I too think that it would be easy to sell once you get the bones of the project and the hard costs. And once I have that personally, I'll commit to helping find corporate sponsors in the community as well. I think that would be a very easy thing. But I think that it's just a matter of gathering up the information and getting a one-sheeter on it that we can have sold. Does that make sense?
It does. I just wanted, like I said, the backing, to know that you all are backing me. That's all I needed in order to start going forward. I didn't want to jump out there and do all of this work and then you all are not backing me. That's all I need right now.
All right. Yes, sir, Mr. Jernigan.
So, who do you feel as though I'm not backing you?
No. Please don't take it personal. No.
Okay. So I won't back you. I'm thinking I'm helping the situation, but obviously I'm hurting it. And again.
Understand me.
Oh.
No.
Oh, you said no. I'm not.
What?
No, I did not understand you, ma'am. No, I did not
We're
understand.
just having a discussion of what I want. That's
Okay.
all we're doing.
Let Mr. Jernigan
Yeah,
finish.
because
I want to hear what everybody has to say. That's dialogue.
Thank you.
Yes. So I'm totally on your team.
We're good.
And it may not seem like it. I'm just trying to make sure, hey, we get it right. I mean, I just, getting involved with things of this magnitude when you talk about $10,000 to $15,000 that we don't have in a budget. I just want to make sure we get it right, and I just want to know where the money's coming from. That's it. And I'm with you. I heard the mayor say he would help try to get some sponsorships. It'll be hot, so I'll be out there and helping you as much as I can with some cornhole boards or something. I don't know. I'll do something.
Thank you, Mr. Jernigan. Mr. Carter.
Ms. Harris, I just want to be clear about something too. I'm not at all in any way against these big positive community events. As a matter of fact, we talked about it earlier, but my work with the Kiwanis Club for the last, this will be our 11th year in a row, we'll be hosting what is, I think, one of, if not the largest event put on like this in the town. To be clear, I spend a lot of my extra time serving and trying to make things like this happen. I think they are good. The subtle distinction in this case is that we are funded by taxpayers, which means that we take their money and they can't not give it to us. So, so they don't voice, yes, we'd like you to do this, or yes, we'd like you to do that, this, that, and the other. Taxes are taken, whether people like it or not. The government takes the tax money. So I think if we are in these positions and have the ability to be stewards of those funds, we should be incredibly diligent with those things. The Kiwanis Club, for instance, when it hosts its events, is solely donated directly to the Kiwanis Club, voluntarily, not taken from people. It's given to the club, and they voluntarily give it to them, and then they choose to hold events like that. So it's, to be clear, I'm not anti this sort of thing. I'm just not really for the government spending the money. There's plenty of people in this community who would probably go, I wish you wouldn't do that. But they don't have a choice. We're the only ones that get to make that choice.
Thank you.
So I just want to make sure you understand that.
Ms. Young?
So if it pleases, we pass this, and Ms. Harris, you'll bring back some itemized information, and we will look further into this event.
I think that we've come to that consensus.
Gotcha.
Very good. All right, if there's no further discussion on this topic, then we will now move on to, are we good?
Yep.
We're good, okay. We'll move on to departmental administration, and we'll begin with you, Mr. Rosenthal.
Yes, Mayor. Staff needs council approval to begin the closing process on 1,100 acres, approximately $157,000 from the Suwannee River Water District. That includes our well fields.
Do we have the money for it?
Yes, we do. We just need direction.
In capital expenditure. This includes our well fields, you said?
Yeah, it includes our current well fields. We'll actually own our own well fields, and we can bring it back to council with the attorney as a resolution.
So, Mr. Martin.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So last Tuesday, I believe it was, the Suwannee River Water Management District directed staff to proceed with the concept of conveying the property to the city. And I think what Mr. Rosenthal is asking is kind of for a corresponding direction from the council that this is conceptually something that the council wants to move forward with. If that's the case, then once the city and water management district legal counsel have actually put together what the transaction will look like, what the documents are, what the restrictions are on use, then we'll actually bring those back for a definite approval from council, along with any budgetary implications and numbers and that sort of thing.
So this is months out.
It's a while. I don't know if it's months out.
It sounds like it's.
I think council can answer the timeline better than I can.
When we start talking about all that documentation and back and forth,
we're probably looking at around 60 days, if I had to guess.
60 days.
Okay.
I'd say that's aggressive. knowing how that goes. 1,100 acres for $157,000 is
Wait a sec.
that's a no-brainer, honestly. Consensus? Can we give a consensus to it, Mr. Carter? You have something?
Just a quick question.
Yep.
Part of this land is that land that had been in the past somewhat contentious. Where are we at with all of that?
That land would be a part of the transaction, and then subject to whatever restrictions we're subject to based on the conveyance from the water management district, then the council could look at certain options.
Okay. And maybe a question for Don or Steve, I don't know, can be more specific, but we feel comfortable with our ability to maintain the current structures, the dam, et cetera, as they need to be to the level?
I'm going to ask Steve to come and speak to that.
Thank you, Mayor. Yes, sir. We don't have any problem right now with it. We have all the equipment. Because this property is being conveyed through the district, they've already done a lot of the legwork for us. So we kind of know what that looks like. There's actually 3 components to it. The first component would be the 1,100 acres where our current water plant and well field is. So we will have all of that. That also makes us contiguous to North Florida Mega Industrial Park for future growth. So that is a huge positive. On the country club piece, there is a piece there where the dam is that we currently want to look at getting an engineering firm come in here to look at recharge projects so we can get our consumptive use permit up for economic development. Again, a huge component of it. And then to the south of that, there is a piece there that is developable. I don't know to what degree we may want to go with that, but that's the actual piece we're actually purchasing. What that is appraised for, that's the $157,000. The rest of it, because we already occupy it, they're going to convey over to us. So yeah, I feel confident this is a win-win for us.
I agree, no brainer.
Thank you, Mr. Carter. While we got you up here, how much of that land could be used for passive recreation, like bike trails, hike trails, small parks for families?
Currently the timber rights are owned by the district, and Weyerhaeuser has some of it, so we would have to let that process play out, and then we would be able to look at it at that point.
Mr. Martin.
I was just going to interject, Mr. Mayor, that is some of what would be in the agreements with the Water Management District is what would be the scope of what we can do with the property, when we can do it, and what are the prohibitions on what we can do with it. And that we've got a model in another community that have discussed with the Water Management District to use as a model here, but the devil will obviously be in the details.
Thank you, Mr. Martin. Yes, sir, Mr. Rosenthal.
Also, Mayor, we're in the process of possibly acquiring a home from the county that our code enforcement team found that the county didn't know they owned. We'll check and get back with you when we know whether or not they're going to actually give us that property.
Thank you, Mr. Rosenthal. Wow. Just getting property from other entities. That's what happens when you work with them, right?
It works a lot better that way.
Thank you, Mr. Steve. Thank you, Mr. Anything else, Mr. Rosenthal?
That's it, Mayor.
Fantastic. Thank you, Mr. Rosenthal. Mr. Martin, do you need?
I was just going to ask, so I was just going to notate, so everyone is concurring by general consent for Clay to move forward with that?
Yeah, I think we're.
Okay,
Yes.
so I just want to make sure that's what my notes are going to say.
That's kind of what I need, is just some head nods.
Okay.
So anyway,
Okay,
all right,
we're good?
appreciate it. Thank you.
Everybody nodded. Thank you. Thank you for that clarification. Mr. Martin?
Nothing to add to that, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Martin. And now Ms. Sykes.
Nothing to add, thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Sykes. Comments by council members, starting with you, Vice Mayor Young.
Yes, I want to say, after all of this, I just want to make a suggestion to administration mainly. And I guess I'll start with the event that I had, and I said it's budgeted. There was a space there, and it kind of reminds me of Mr. Carter saying, suggestion to Councilwoman Harris to get with Ms. Terry and combine, like work together in an event that's already there. And that's kind of what happened with the event. I saw open space where the event wasn't going to happen, and I jumped in it. And I said, you're not going to do anything here, you don't have anything here, then can I help out with something here? So that's how that event happened. So what I want to say is, coming up to budget time, or maybe not even so close to budget time, I think it'll be a good idea to reach out and have a conversation with council and find out, is it something that you want to do? Is there an event that you want to have? What do you want to see added in this budget? That would be a very good idea, so that we can get our even if you put it there and not use it, at least if you want it, it's there, rather than want to do something and it's not there. So I would appreciate that, administration.
We can definitely do that.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Concluded?
I'm good.
Okay. Mr. Jernigan.
Oh, yes, I got a couple of things. I just want to give a shout out to some businesses in District 14. Brittany's Cupcake Shop is located at 857 Southwest Main Boulevard, Suite 125. If you don't know about that area and the things that she's doing in there, she's also got a boutique in there as well. And the food in there is really, really good. So patronizing the businesses in this community is always a good sign. Also, Ed and Barb's, that donut shop, you got a young entrepreneur there that has taken over that place, that he makes fresh donuts, fresh every single day. And the other thing is the drainage on Evergreen. The drainage on Evergreen, I really want somebody to really look into that. I think we had somebody look into it before, and and it's basically we stopped looking into it. So if you would, Steve, please, Mr. Rosenthal, please look in that into that drainage on Evergreen. And one other thing, the sign in Forest Hill. I know pretty much what happened with the sign. I just don't know where we are. Who's going to pay to have that sign put in there? I know that I guess the city must have went in there and messed up some things in there. Then his insurance is Progressive. They were going to take care of it, and we don't know where we are with it. So, and a lot of constituents in that area, they want their sign up. So if we could, please look into that.
I think Steve's coming to address it now.
Okay.
Yes, sir. We talked to Jerry Lesquich, which has been
Sure.
spearheading that up.
A little bit.
We talked with Jerry Lesquich last week. He's the one spearheading that up, and they had an issue on their side with their insurance adjuster. The young man he was working with is no longer there, and he informed us that they've got a new contact now. So as far as I know, he's still moving forward with it.
Okay. So what did we do something wrong? I guess when the guy hit the sign, he was drunk. He hit the sign. Did the city go inside there and move some things around in there, and we couldn't?
We went on our right of way and removed the portions of the sign that was on the right of way, and because the sign was a trip hazard all the way onto it, we just went ahead and pulled it all back. So we left everything that was a safety issue. We put in the truck and brought back with us.
Okay. So we have no skin in this. Is that what you're saying? We have nothing to do with this? Or?
I believe there's been some conversations. If they run short on funding, Mr. Rosenthal said that he would be willing to look and see what they've got there. But as of right now, short of Mr. Lesquich getting some contacts for some local businesses to actually get pricing, I think that's all that's been done. He is still looking at the insurance company as of right now.
Okay, that's Progressive, am I correct?
I'm not 100% sure.
Okay, and that's it. I just want to make sure. Thank you very much, sir.
Yes, sir.
That we look into those things. But our Lake City Police Department, and Fire Department, and personnel, the clerk's office, we got all kind of good people that's still sticking around in here. We got a good team. Financial department, just appreciate everybody and what they're doing. Just keep up the good work, and hey, we'll go from there.
Thank you, Mr. Jernigan. Mr. Carter.
Thank you. I would just like to congratulate the Lake City Garden Club. This past Thursday, they had their annual Scrabble tournament. They raised a little over $4,000. They used those funds to help buy the flowers that you see going downtown and stuff like that. And they come out and they volunteer and they plant those flowers. And I know they just had to replace a lot of them because a lot of them got killed by the freezes that we had. So just want to congratulate them on a great event. And I also won the Scrabble tournament. Thank you. That's it.
That's a surprise to us all. Miss Harris, Councilwoman Harris.
Don, I wanted to ask you.
Okay.
I asked you to put two things on the agenda.
Yes, the City Hall and the Housing Administration.
Yes, sir. And I was wondering why they weren't not on the agenda for tonight. They weren't the week before that.
Well, we actually discussed them at the agenda meeting, and it was decided that we wouldn't put them on, and we would come back as a workshop.
Who decided that?
I'll answer that. So the last housing workshop, we have an action item that's still open from that. Correct? Right, Mr. Rosenthal? Right, Dee? Right, Mr. Martin? And it's moving forward or trying to get a contract with Leslie
Precepts.
and Precepts. It was a contract, them determining a contract based on the vote that happened within this body after our last housing authority, or after our last housing meeting, correct? Are you still working on that with them?
So I am still working with Precept. I can say I did not realize that the Precept conversation was necessarily connected to the Housing Authority conversation. So I may have missed that connection, but I am still working with Precept.
So our housing, okay. Well, I guess I need to review the notes on the housing meeting. Well, it was one meeting. We had a housing meeting, and I was under the impression that we had moved away from the housing authority and into a third party designing company. Is that correct or no? Yes, Ms.
Let me say this, council and mayor.
Sure.
In the when we were talking about all this, the precepts, the housing authority, I said to Mr. Rosenthal, I said, I think there's a lot of confusion here. And that it needed to be, let's talk about one, make decisions on one, and then move to the other. Okay. I thought I was the only one confused. That the precepts, the housing authority, and there were one other thing. What is it?
I can't think of it right now.
Anyway, it was all compiled together, and it was just, it needed to be separated. And I think we finally got to the point. Now we talk about the precepts and haven't gotten to the housing authority yet, right?
Right.
Okay, so it is divided now, so maybe we'll have some clarity.
Okay, thank you for that.
Well, the staff is going to come back with the housing authority as a workshop.
Sure. Okay.
that's
We
what
do.
staff-
We have speaking of workshop timing, we have CRA prior to our next meeting, so it'd probably be the second meeting in March, or an independent meeting if that was what this body decided.
So I asked that it,
I was just going to say, I don't think her question was answered. And she asked for multiple items to be on the agenda, and they were not.
Well,
that was it.
yeah. So, and then the discussion on City Hall is that it's also an upcoming agenda, or an upcoming workshop.
Those were the two things I asked to be put on the agenda. Why weren't they put on the agenda? I was just told because,
Sure.
and I guess you all met. Who all was it? It was you, Mayor, and who else?
Just the regular people on the agenda meeting, myself,
Who
the
is
clerk,
that?
myself, the clerk, the attorney, Dee, and the mayor, and normally finance is there too.
Joyce Finance and the
So
clerk's
y'all
office.
decided not to put something on the agenda, and then didn't call me and tell me what y'all decided.
So I guess my question would be, are they discussion items? Are you trying to?
Doesn't matter. If I ask for it to be on the agenda, why?
As discussion,
why is it-
if it's an item, if it's an ordinance or resolution that's coming before as a decision, we're not at a point for decisions on these items, right? And I don't mean this offensively. I mean this to maintain order and maintain a process that we're moving forward. The charter states, and this is why we have these agenda prep meetings, so that we keep moving things forward and nothing comes out of left field to hit us like a comment like it was happening from time to time last year. We work together to set forth an agenda. And when some things come up and I am confused, and clearly I'm confused in the housing authority because I thought that we were moving forward with moving in a direction for finality with precepts, and that was our housing decision. But that was the last housing workshop we had. So I think that we need to have another housing workshop, and that's what we've.
Staff will bring back a workshop.
But we can put them on as discussion items
Look,
all day long.
You're missing the point. I asked for them to be put on the agenda. What gave you guys the authority to say whether it was gonna be on the agenda or not?
So this is, again,
Regardless if, let's just say it's not the housing authority, let's just say City Hall. If it was City Hall and I wanted to discuss something about City Hall, why wasn't it added to the agenda?
it can always be added as a discussion item, but to answer your question, the charter states the mayor sets forth the agenda.
So
That's what the
mayor
charter
says-
says.
So the charter says.
It's our
Wait,
government.
finish my question.
Yeah.
So the charter says if a sitting council member comes up and wants something put on the agenda, it is left up to the discretion of the mayor to say whether that is put on the agenda or not?
No, items can always be walked on by unanimous decision at the beginning of an agenda. Always. But
I need some understanding. And the
Sure.
reason why I'm asking this time, because I asked before about something being put on there, and it wasn't on there. So I'm asking this time, why? Clay, you might need to talk to me. Tell me, since he brought up the charter, is that what the charter says? That if a council member brings something up to be on an agenda, the mayor has the authority along with whomever to say whether it goes on the agenda or not?
So that what the charter says is it's the mayor's responsibility to set forth an agenda, and it's his role exclusively. So there is no, I mean, the rest of us sit in that meeting, but the ultimate decision is the mayor's. I don't think there was any decision by the mayor to say, I do not want to put this on the agenda for a council meeting. He did say that we're going to spread these out so that we don't have long, exhaustive meetings, and stated that we were going to pace them out over time. I don't remember the exact numbers or dates that were discussed, but that they would be put on future agendas over time, but not to put two major discussion items on one single agenda where the council and members of the public would not be able to fairly discuss it given time constraints.
And you're sure about that answer? You're sure about that answer? If I direct Don to have this put something else on the agenda, you're gonna tell me that is under his discretion to say, yeah, we're not gonna have it, or yes, no, we're not gonna have it? Or we're just gonna spread it out? Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying that's the mayor's discretion. The check on that discretion is, and I think it was Mr. Carter that pointed it out a second ago, the council can put anything on the agenda by unanimous consent at the beginning of a meeting. So if there's something that is not on there that you want on that agenda, you can, when we're in the process of approving the agenda, you can say you want to amend the agenda by adding item X as a discussion item or for action, and if the council unanimously approves that, then that overrides what the mayor's decision was, and it comes on the agenda.
So, I'll have to wait to the next meeting, and if I want to have City Hall put on the agenda and it's not on the agenda, I have to say at the beginning of the meeting, I want that added.
That is correct. And you would say, I move to have the item discussing City Hall or a vote on City Hall or whatever it is added to the agenda. I move to amend the agenda to add it. There would be a vote called on that amendment. If it's unanimous, it gets added. If it's not unanimous, then it does not get added.
All right.
And to be clear, I thought that they needed a more robust discussion between us and to allow the citizenry to have that discussion with us as well. That's why I think the workshops on those big rock items in our sandbox are important.
We will bring them both back to workshop.
But we can have them, I mean, we can add them as discussion items on the next agenda if you so wish.
I wish.
Okay.
And if I may, we had this discussion before, Attorney. Am I right? You and I?
This isn't the first time this issue's come up.
Okay, right. And what I said to you is, the mayor doesn't dictate the agenda, he oversees the agenda. And like you said, to make sure that it's not overloaded, that's one example. Give me one or two more if you can, of reasons why the mayor would not allow something on the agenda.
The only one I've really ever heard articulated in a meeting is basically let's pace ourselves. The mayor, and he can correct me if I'm wrong in saying this, he said repeatedly, I really don't want more than one major presentation or major item of discussion like that on a single meeting agenda. And so in those meetings, there tends to be some pacing out of issues. And, for example, and I don't remember the exact date, but on the City Hall, for example, the discussion was, let's find a time for a workshop to bring that back, make sure we have all the consultants here we may need, all the people in government that have worked on this, all the research done, so that can be discussed. But the only reason I've ever heard it articulated for spreading things out is exactly that, to spread it out. I can't say that I've ever heard any other reason necessarily for not putting something on a particular agenda.
Okay, I'm gonna let you slide with that one. So, for instance, the last time we met concerning the city hall, it was gonna be on the next few agendas. I don't think it was decided as a workshop. Am I correct or no?
There was a presentation that got pulled because the presenter couldn't be here. So that was, in December, and they just haven't been, I guess the presentation hasn't been rescheduled, but.
So I say that because if we say we're gonna have it on the agenda in the next meeting or whatever time, I just believe we should have it there.
Sure.
That's my thought on that. If we say we're gonna discuss the city hall, which it has been a while, and we were supposed to have discussed it by now. And I do think it's worthy of discussion because I get plenty of questions concerning the city hall. And like I said, we said it was gonna be on the agenda and we have not.
Mayor, Mayor, if I may, I can totally respect Ms. Harris with this. So the mayor, he can take things off the agenda. He could also add things onto the agenda. Am I correct? And it puts, for example, if I were to call and say to Audrey or to the city attorney or I usually talk to Mr. Rosenthal and say, hey, that's why I try not to put too much on the agenda because of things just like this. But when I do put something on there, I really want that to be on the agenda. I call and say, hey, this is what I would like to see. And the mayor could say, I don't want to do that. And I'm like, what would be the reason? There's not a reason why somebody cannot put nothing on the agenda. No reason. If it takes 2 hours, we don't get out till 12 o'clock sometimes anyway. So whatever it takes, if somebody want to put something on the agenda, I believe that it should be there. Or if somebody wants to take something off the agenda, I've seen that happen too. They delete item 13 or 12. So we could do that as well, as long as it's there. And then once the individuals see that it's there, they may come back and say, well, I want to scratch item 13 instead of just not having it on the agenda. They may come and do that. They may. I just say that. So I think that if it's a council member put something on there or called to have something requested to put on there or whatever, it's like a request for all of us anyway. I think it should be strongly considered. Strongly considered. That's what I'll say.
And Mayor, this is my last thing. Clay. I'm not sure if I need to speak to Clay or either Don. I want to find out if I decide that I would like for somebody to be suspended without pay. I want to know how I go about doing that.
Wait, you mean staff?
Yes.
Staff works for the city manager. So I'm the only one that can decide whether my staff should be
Yeah,
suspended.
not staff. The ones that are under us.
Oh, corporate?
Yeah.
Oh, never mind.
Thank you. So if you can, by tomorrow afternoon, after lunch, have something in my box that direct me on what I need to do in order for that to take place.
And you're talking about someone who's sitting at the dais.
Absolutely.
Okay, because it does make a difference in the answer I give. So,
I got it.
okay.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm done.
All right, thank you, Ms. Harris. All right, we have a breakfast with the chief coming up, and that is going to be on Saturday, February 28th at 9 a.m. First Methodist Church of Lake City on South Marion. I will also echo Mr. Carter's comments on Garden Club. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to be there. I've participated in that event the last couple of years. It's always a fun event. It's a good fundraiser. Keeps downtown beautiful. I'll start making a pitch now because I know that we're going to have a different level of budget meetings coming up that'll be a little more in depth per department. But I'm going to go ahead and start making a pitch now that we strongly consider a decrease in our ad valorem taxes. They're likely to go away in the next few years anyway, at least for homesteaded properties. But that will be my pitch for the night, and that's it. Have a good night.